So today we're going to talk about why a shotgun is the best home defense weapon system for you in your home. Hey everyone, my name is Joe Malone from JM Training. I'm a former Special Ops Marine, teach people how to be safe against violence and violent crime. All right, here we go. So when you look at this bad guy here, just ignore all this other shit. I don't have enough rubbing alcohol to get rid of it right now. This bad guy right here breaks into your home. So a lot of people say, hey, what kind of pistol or what kind of rifle should I get? The problem with the pistol or a rifle is that it is a single shot. So you shoot a bullet and then you miss, you shoot a bullet, then you miss, you shoot a bullet, then you miss, you shoot a bullet, then you hit them. You're most likely going to need to shoot multiple bullets in order to get effective hits on that target. In other words, to incapacitate the human being, you usually need to shoot them more than once, unless you get them here within what's known as the T-box, which is basically the area underneath the eyebrows and then to the bottom of the nose. So it makes a nice little T, or the triangle of death, whatever you want to call it, whatever gay name. So if you shoot somebody there, you're usually going to stop them, which is why it's good to practice a single fire shot to the face under time constraints from the concealed carry position. For the person who was wondering, why would you not just trace them up the body? That's why, is because you're probably not going to stop them with 2, 3, 4, 5 shots, especially if they're at close range. This guy has a knife, so he's probably going to stab you a bunch of times before he actually goes down due to blood loss, if they actually go down to the blood loss, which if you're that guy, probably won't, because your shots probably suck anyways to begin with when you have that type of mentality. You aim small, and then you miss small. And you aim for some big, broad target, you're probably going to miss the big, broad target. Anyways, I digress. So why is a shotgun so much better than a rifle? Well, a shotgun shoots in a splayed fashion or a funnel fashion. There's a lot of pellets that come out. Sometimes it'll have a slug also, but basically it's like an area fired weapon, if you will. So instead of just shooting these single shots, when you fire a shotgun, the impact pattern or the shooting pattern is going to be something along the lines of this. There's going to be a bunch, sorry, I'm talking away from the camera. There's going to be a bunch of pellets flying towards that individual. Now, on top of that, which of course increases the likelihood of you stopping them with multiple impacts, as opposed to having to shoot somebody multiple times with a rifle accurately in order to stop them. Now, on top of that, the penetration power, what we call the terminal ballistics, the impact that the bullet has from the point that it hits the intended target and what takes place afterwards. A lot of these engagements are going to take place in a very confined quarters and very small amounts of distance within a few feet of one another. So the terminal ballistics are going to pass right through that individual majority of the time, especially if you're using a high-powered rifle. Now, don't get me wrong. There are absolutely times when you want to use a high-powered rifle like an AK-47 for home defense, especially because most home invasions these days aren't just one-on-one. It's usually 3, 4, 5 people on one. Hell, there was a video recently of 10 people breaking into a jewelry store. Guy used an AR in order to keep them out. Good on him. That would be an example of a time where that was a good application. However, for home defense, shotgun's best. And this is why, again, because you're less likely to get penetration with those pellets. On top of that, if you use something like a hollow point slug for a shotgun, then once that hollow point slug actually hits the individual, it's going to scatter and break up, and then the terminal ballistics remain within that person, creating more cavitation, creating more damage, more likely to stop that criminal, that perpetrator, as opposed to passing through and possibly wounding somebody else in your home. Now, this brings up the whole idea of shoot versus no shoot walls versus shoot through walls, which I could talk about in another video. But the point of that is you must know your target, consider the foreground and the background. What is behind the target or the person or the perpetrator that you are shooting at, the target that you are intending to hit? This is why I think a shotgun is always going to be the best home defense system. Plus, if you pump that baby, it's the greatest home security alarm system on the face of the planet. So, use a shotgun for home defense, preferably 12 gauge, 20 gauge if you're a female and you don't have much firearms experience, even if you're a guy, because most guys these days are so dainty that, look, a 20 gauge is awesome. I use a 20 gauge shotgun for home safety because I don't want that extra penetration power. I just don't need it. I want to keep my family safe, but at the same time, I want to stop the bad guy. 20 gauge shotgun with a hollow point slug is a really great weapon for home safety, home defense. I also recommend that you mount a flashlight on the front of that thing with a little laser dot so that in the middle of the flashlight, you see the laser dot, bam, you get good confirmation on somebody coming into your home, and then you just start blasting them. and then there you go. And there's some shotguns nowadays which are semi-automatic, like the Beretta A500, I think is what it is, or A300, 500, something like that. That's a great gun because you can just sit there blasting all these big old shot patterns, all these pellets flying all over the place, all these slugs popping off. However, again, we always want to make sure that we know what's beyond our target. So anyways, that's my opinion on home safety, home defense. Shotgun, 20 gauge, hollow point slugs. If you think differently, put it in the comments, let me know. Yes, there are times when you will want to use something different, no doubt about it. Everything is subjective, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, I think this is the greatest weapon and the greatest source of ammunition that you could be going with for your home safety, home defense. Let me know if you have questions, let me know if you have comments, let me know if you have like or differing opinions, whatever. I don't really care. I just want to grow and help one another and become unified within society. All right, take care, everyone.